Commencing start. 2, 1, 0. Mission.
In June 2025, we witnessed history. Chief Owolabi Salis became the first Nigerian to cross the Kármán Line. But what did that 10-minute journey actually mean for our nation?
Before we meet the man vying to be the second Nigerian in space, let's look at the data behind the mission that started it all. Ahmad, take us back to June 2025.
Splendor. This wasn't just a Nigerian moment. It was a global revolution. On June 29, 2025, the data changed forever. Mission NS-33 reached an apogee of 105.2 kilometers. That's 5 kilometers past the edge of space. At Mach 3 speeds, Dr. Salis proved that Nigerian excellence isn't just terrestrial, it's cosmic. This was a global mandate. Over people worldwide cast their votes to decide who would lead this era. In a lineup of global powers, including the USA's, the UK's, and representatives from Iran and Israel, stood the green-white-green. Some ask, only 11 minutes? But in those 11 minutes, Dr. Salis traveled faster and higher than 99% of humanity ever will. It took only 10 minutes to break a 60-year barrier and prove that a Nigerian presence in the infinite is finally a reality.
Is so reusable and, just an incredible vehicle. And touchdown! Touchdown confirmed.
Congratulations.
Well,
They didn't just see their own countries. They saw a borderless Earth and brought back more than just photos. They brought back data on how the human body reacts to microgravity without years of military training. They proved that space is now for the scientists, the lawyer, and the innovator. Back to you, Fatima.
People call this a trip or a flight. But when you look at the data Ahmad has, you realize it's cosmic. It's not just a flight, it's a journey into the infinite.
This interview comes at an exciting moment for Nigeria's growing presence in space. Through Sarah's partnership with our National Space Research and Development Agency, NASRA, we're moving from having our first citizen in space to potentially having our second. But this time, through a democratic selection process, where Nigerians choose their representative.
What makes this story even more compelling is that our guest today has been preparing for this moment long before the opportunity arose. Training in underwater facilities, zero gravity, and developing technologies that could shape the future of space exploration. We are joined by Tobi Thomas, candidate for this groundbreaking mission and founder of Space Redi.
Today, we'll explore what this new chapter means for Nigeria's space program, what it takes to prepare for space travel, and how one person's vision could inspire an entire generation of young Nigerians to reach for the stars. Mr. Thomas, let's start with knowing what makes you a great candidate to represent Nigeria in space.
What makes me a great candidate to go to space representing Nigeria? I'm already working on the post-flight impact, and I think and what I mean by that is before I used to think that, after I go to space, that's when I'll try to make an impact and I'll have this big platform behind me. But when I realized that, you just start now, just do that now. And it's been a really exciting journey. For example, I helped to develop Nigeria's first nationwide microgravity contest in partnership with NASRADA and WAB and a few other organizations. We developed the microgravity contest that saw many students from around Nigeria compete to get their experiment to be tested in microgravity, otherwise known as zero gravity. And we got a winner. And their experiment, yes, is getting tested in microgravity, and their experiment actually deals with the real life issue of air pollution on the ground in their community. So, getting to be a part of that has been amazing. I'm also partnered up with some folks over at NASA on educational pathways for Nigerian youth that, be on the lookout for soon. Is really fun. So, yeah, I think that Nigerian ingenuity can really advance space technology, and it's just about exposing us as much as possible.
Exposure is a very valid factor in developing and nurturing space science and technology in Nigeria. But I believe people would want to know what kind of training you've had.
I've trained like astronauts do, from underwater neutral buoyancy labs to being in the sky, experiencing the same weightlessness that astronauts do, to being on the ground with survival trainings and mission simulations. Really the goal really is to just prepare for all the different extreme environments that space will offer from every angle we have accessible to us here on the ground.
Nigeria made history with the achievements of Dr. Owolabi Salis. How would your mission build upon his record?
Dr. Salis, yeah, he opened the door and showed us that it's possible. We hadn't really seen a Nigerian in space like that. And I like to think of it like a movie. You know how when you watch a film that's filmed in a foreign land or somewhere you've never been, the movie looks kind of unreal, kind of different to you. But when you know that they're filming in the area you've been to before, and you can recognize the landmarks, it's kind of, the movie now has a different feeling to you, like, wow, it's actually accessible, touchable, it feels different. So I think that's what that did for us, showed us that, wow, it's actually accessible, we can get there. And I want to be like, he helped open that door, and I want to be that bridge to like, hey, look, we can make it happen and we can bring more people in it. So he opened the door, and I just want to build that bridge to get more people in the door. And I want to connect his achievements to educational programs that inspire the next generation of Nigerians, Nigerian space scientists and engineers.
It's one thing to talk about the physics of space. It's another to see the faces of Nigerians who conquered those physics. You are about to join a lineage of giants like Okolo, Okoji, Yunusa, and Salis. For everyone watching who wonders how a nation goes from the ground to the galaxy in just a few decades, this is for you. Ahmad, please break down the numbers for us.
The physics of space is brutal. Zero oxygen, temperatures fluctuating around 300 degrees, objects moving at 28,000 kilometers per hour. For decades, these numbers were a barrier. Today, they are a Nigerian playground.
Oh! Guys! We're floating!
People ask, why space? Why now? Here's the why.
And then all of a sudden, it really is. It's just black. Just this perfect circle, super bright layer of blue all the way around the Earth. Biggest of all time shout out, Moondell. Truly the experience of a lifetime from the bottom of my heart.
The physics of space is brutal. Zero oxygen, temperatures fluctuating around 300 degrees, objects moving at 28,000 kilometers per hour. For decades, these numbers were a barrier. Today, they are a Nigerian playground. People ask, why space? Why now? Here is the why. Space is the silent engine of the modern world. Without it, $5 trillion in globally daily banking transactions would freeze. Your GPS fails. Global crop yield dropped by 20% without satellite-guided precision. To ignore space isn't just to miss a dream, it's to go bankrupt on Earth. In 1999, Nigeria stops being a spectator. NASDA was born from a realization: space is sovereignty. We've launched 6 satellites. These aren't just metals in orbit. They are eyes that monitored the 2022 flood to save lives. Watchdogs that track border movements in real time and data hubs mapping our soil to feed 218 million people. But look past the hardware. Look at the human capital. At NASA, Dr. Wendy Okolu is rewiring the equation for high-speed re-entry. Robert Okoji holds over 20 patents for sensors that survive the 600 degrees Celsius heat of Venus, environments where ordinary tech melts. Across the Atlantic, Abdulhamid Yunusa at Demos Space UK is integrating AI into the very brain of satellite systems. In 2025, the data became a heartbeat. Dr. Owolabi Salis became the first Nigerian to cross the Kármán Line. He didn't just break the atmosphere, he broke the limit of what we thought was possible. He proved that the 8,000 kilometers between Nigeria and the stars is a distance we have already conquered.
Hey skeptics, look at the satellites, look at the patents, look at the astronauts. Nigeria isn't just visiting the galaxy, we are coding its future. We aren't just reaching for the stars, we are bringing their power back to every farm, every city, and every citizen on Nigerian soil.
Powerful. When you see names like Okolo, Okoje, Yunusa, and Salis, you realize the distant dream isn't distant anymore. It's right here. Now, back to the curiosity that drives space exploration, an industry that evolves every day as new discoveries emerge. The human quest to know what's going on out there is never ending. So what does the future of space exploration look like?
Space exploration is shifting from just being close by missions like orbiting Earth to longer duration missions to the moon, Mars, and just beyond. So if you think about it, if you think about just how you would pack differently for a 10-minute drive versus a 10-hour road trip, I think space needs to have that same planning evolution. And the biggest challenges are the unknown obstacles that we haven't faced before or even seen. So, that's really the area of research I'm in bioastronautics and risk mitigation for human space exploration.
Ahmad really puts the brutal in the physics of space exploration. And the risks are obviously massive. That brings me to Space Redi. I'm curious, what specific tools are you developing to tackle those risks and ensure this mission aren't just bold but safe?
Specific examples of risk mitigation research we're doing, I would say, one, we're creating predictive systems that can identify potential problems before they become critical failures. And you could think of it as having a smart warning system that doesn't just focus on telling you something's wrong, but it tells you what can go wrong and how to prevent those things from happening. And this type of technology can really save lives on long duration missions to Mars or the moon, where regular communication with Earth is not as readily available.
So let me come direct. If you are selected to represent Nigeria, what experiments would you want to conduct in space?
Naturally, I would love to do a test that has to do with how risk mitigation systems perform in microgravity, perform in space. And this type of research is the type of research that could protect future astronauts that are going to the moon and Mars. But honestly, I think the biggest experiment is showing young Nigerians that space is really within our reach. It's right there for us.
It's amazing to know that Nigerians can get to vote for their rep going to space. So, tell us about the timeline for the selection process. I am sure Nigerians are excited about supporting you on this journey to space.
Young Nigerians right now can get involved in space science in many ways. I mean, just look at the microgravity competition we just did. We just held a lot of young Nigerians that previously would not have had that opportunity, got a chance to be a part of it. So I think it's just keeping your eyes open and just being willing to try. Yes, so the selection process is happening now. Join the space community on the Telegram platform through my link as well. that I'll share, and that's where the voting is going to take place directly. So they can follow along the program and all of the other candidates from around the world. This is a great community. I've met people from Brazil, Thailand, India, different parts of Africa, different parts of all over America, like Brazil, Guatemala, Nicaragua, it's just all over the place, all over Asia, it's just Europe. There's a lot of people around the world. So the space community is right there, and you get to know different people's backgrounds. They have a lot of cool things that they're doing, experiments they're exploring, and just, it's a really great community, and you can just immediately join it just by joining the voting platform. You'll just meet a lot of great people, and they're right there. They're so easy to reach out to. Like once you join it and you follow their channels, you just reach out to them, and people are very, from my experience, they've been very open and welcoming to just collaborating and seeing what's going on. But try to bring something to the table too. Like if you're doing a research that's on your mind, show that you've been doing stuff, and people are ready to work with you.
In our interaction off camera, you mentioned an art piece. On a final note, tell us about this poem, A Dream Preferred, and its connection to space exploration.
Yes, I had a lot of fun making that piece, A Dream Preferred. But the connection to space exploration, really, art and science is not even that they're two sides of the same coin. They're born out of the same essence. And that's something I learned from Dr. Mae Jameson. Like that's something she taught me. And I think my piece reimagines Langston Hughes' dream deferred as dream preferred, because it's about how paths don't really exist until someone takes the first step. Many have walked before us in the space path and created many pathways we can try to follow. So it's just about us adapting that to our own journey. So that's what that piece really is about, just, taking those first steps when you don't see it. And when you start to see the path, you'll start to notice other people have walked down that path, and you start to adapt it to what works for your the anatomy of your feet.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? My dream of going to space began without words. Just a small child looking up towards the sun, the moon, the quiet language they spoke I wanted to learn. My dreams, quiet whispers almost too faint to hear when they first found words to be expressed through. Lucid dreams I would drag out as long as possible just to experience those moments of weightlessness longer. Waking up with a smile and reassurance of dreams deferred becoming the preferred, the bold to shout from many a mountaintops for all who heard.
Thank you, Tobi, for sharing this journey with us on Tech Mode. We will be following your progress closely. Nigeria is rooting for you.
Good luck, Mr. Thomas. We hope to see you among the stars soon.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed myself, and I look forward to talking to you more. And I look forward to doing a post-flight interview with you and just saying, hey, this was my experience in space. This is what we're doing next. How are we gonna, build this bridge? So I look forward to having that interview with you as well.
All right, Ahmad, before we log off, I know you've done some deep research into common questions Nigerians are asking. Let's jump into space sense. Question 1. This one is from Ifeanyi in Anambra. Is it true that your head will explode if you take off your helmet in space?
That's a classic Hollywood myth, Splendor. You won't explode, but you would lose consciousness in about 15 to 45 seconds because there's no oxygen. Your body stays intact, but you definitely want to keep the helmet on.
Okay, question 2 from Amina in Kaduna. Why spend billions on space when we have bad roads and no power in Nigeria?
I'll take this one. Amina, space tech is Earth tech. The satellite data we get helps our farmers increase crop yields and helps engineers map out those very roads. We go to space to find the tools to fix Earth.
In addition to that, look at October 2022. When the floods hit 34 states, it was our eyes in the sky, Nigeria Sat-2, that saved us. Using the International Space Charter, NASA mapped the devastation in real time. They didn't have to guess where the water was going. They saw it from 700 kilometers up. That data allowed NEMA to deploy rescues to the exact coordinates where they were needed most. We don't go to space to leave Nigeria. We go to space to protect it.
Fatima, I've got a tough one from a viewer in Port Harcourt. Is there really zero gravity in space?
Actually, no. Gravity is everywhere. It's what keeps the moon orbiting the Earth. Astronauts only feel weightless because they are in a constant state of free fall, like a lift where the cable snapped, falling at the same speed as of the building.
All right. This one is from Yinka in Lagos. Is the Kármán Line a physical blue line in the sky? This is for you, Ahmad.
I wish. No, Yinka. It's an imaginary boundary 100 kilometers up, where the atmosphere becomes too thin for planes to fly. It's the doorway to the infinite. Once you cross it, you aren't just a pilot, you're an explorer.
And that is the heart of the matter. We aren't just talking about rockets. We are talking about a new era of Nigerian sovereignty.
We've gone from the historic 10 minutes of Dr. Salis in 2025 to the doorstep of our next great leap with candidates like Tobi Thomas. The question isn't whether we belong in space, but how far we are willing to go.
The data is clear. From the patents of Robert Okoji to the launches in West Texas, the green-white-green is officially a cosmic flag. Nigeria isn't just watching the future, we are coding it.
To our viewers, keep supporting our candidates. Subscribe to our social media handles, keep asking questions, and keep reaching for the stars.
I'm Splendor.
I am Fatima.
And I'm Ahmed.
This is Tech Mode. We'll see you in the infinite.